In this video, I want to talk about text animations for whiteboard videos. Now, there's times, as I talked about before, where I do not want to use the hand drawing. I don't want to use the dopamine effect. And so I need a different type of animation to maintain interest. Another scenario that I'm typically doing text animation is if I have like an image and I want to break up the visual contrast, I want to make some contrast going on. So I'll use a text animation and then I'll come back to the visual. And one more thing I tend to do is a 1, 2, 3 thing, where I might have, the first half of a point in text animation, a second half of a point in text animation, and then I land on an image or something like that. So the text animations are a vital part of my whiteboard video creations, and I recommend them for you. They're really nice because you can get them done quickly, as fast as you can type, and add a few little kind of tweaks like the little effects here, which I'll talk about in a separate video. You can have this segment of your video done quickly. So I really like when I can pull in text animations because I know that I'm going to get somewhere between 12 to 25 seconds of my video done very quickly. And so, but you want to take into account a couple of tips in order to maintain that professional, premium, and effective, aspect of your whiteboard videos. So let me talk a bit about a few of those things. First of all, I really recommend that you make your videos structured. They really need to feel designed. And notice in this particular one, what I've done is I've got the top coming in from the left and this one coming in from the left. So kind of a little bit of a design going on, a pattern. And then I've got this one coming in from the right and this one coming in from the right. And then of course I have those splashes and coming into the background as well. And I like to use those kinds of effects because it feels kind of like ink splashing. And it helps to kind of maintain the whole, whiteboard art, ink on a paper kind of thing going on there. Now, another thing that I really recommend is kind of maintaining one font throughout the entire video. And that is, again, because, in the back of our minds, subconsciously, we know that people don't have multiple text styles. So you see here, of course, you're not going to be surprised probably that I'm using Easy Animator Pro for this. It's my program. I designed it, and I designed it to do exactly this kind of thing because I needed this myself. And so now what I did was in the fonts that we included, I included free fonts that I got distribution rights for. That it's free at Font Squirrel. They have a list of fonts that you can put inside of applications. But the other reason why I did that is so that you can get them for free also, so that you can use them. So if you're using the fonts inside of Easy Animator Pro that have that kind of sketch feel, then you're able to go get them for free at Font Squirrel and work them into any other program that you might be using. Because I'm not. I assume that you might want to use instead PowerPoint for your text animations, or Explaindio. It's got some neat new animations for text as well. So there's all the different tools. I like to use Easy Animator Pro because it's quick, easy, and I can move on. But you can use other tools as well, of course, and I expect that you will. So I wanted you to be able to utilize the different fonts. But whatever font you use, I recommend that you stick with it throughout your entire video. And because that really helps to create continuity, and helps maintain that professional premium quality. So another thing that I do try to do is I try to make them bolder, easier to read. And if I'm using a thinner kind of whiteboard font, there's a couple here like this Amatic Bold. I really like it. And there's a couple others here. Snickles is another one, but it's thin. And so what really I don't like to use those in whiteboard videos unless I know that I'm only going to use a few words, unless I don't have room for much text animation. So I can get away with it, make it bigger and bold, that kind of thing, and make it more easy to read. But whatever font you use, again, stick with it. I do recommend that you maintain structure inside of your videos. One other thing I want to point out is notice that since these come in horizontally, it's a little bit easier to read them before the motion stops fully. And that's also a very valuable point also. But as I'll be talking about in the next videos, it's good to have your text animations kind of thematic whenever possible. So, you don't necessarily, you're not always able to maintain that. So again, I'm going to talk about in other videos just a few strategies, a few techniques to make cool and effective text animations, so that you can really kind of be able to make quick decisions and implement these fast and then move on to other segments of your whiteboard videos.